Let's read a book. Let's read a book. Today we are gonna read The Adventures of Snail at School, story number 3. Music lesson. Who will go to the music room for me? Asked Mrs. Harvey. I will, Snail said. This time I will be quick. Would anyone else like to go? Asked Mrs. Harvey. No one moved. Well, Snail, it is up to you again, said Mrs. Harvey. Please tell Miss Pink that we are ready for our music lesson and ask her to bring the instruments. And Snail, said Mrs. Harvey, do not get lost and do not come back with some silly story. Don't worry, Mrs. Harvey, Snail said. I will come right back. Snail hurried to the music room. I wonder where Miss Pink is, he said. Snail waited and waited. Finally, Snail said, I cannot wait any longer. I told Mrs. Harvey I will hurry. I will bring the instruments myself. Snail tried to lift the drum, but it was too heavy. What should I do now? Snail asked. Snail sat down and picked up a baton. He tapped the floor with it. Ding, ding, ran the triangle. Snail pointed at the horn. Onk, onk, went the horn. Snail waved the baton and the drum. Bum, bum, went the drum. Snail was so surprised, he dropped the baton. The instruments ran around the room. Bum, honk, ding, plunk. Oh no, what I have done, cried Snail. Then Snail picked up the baton and waved it. Stop, he yelled. The instrument stopped running. Line up, ordered Snail. The instruments lined up. To Mrs. Harvey's class, Snail shouted. He marched down the hallway. All the instruments followed. Stop, Snail cried, and he opened the classroom door. Finally, said Miss Harvey, what happened this time, Snail? Miss Pink was not there, Snail said, and the instruments ran around and around and… Oh, Snail, I have had enough for today, said Mrs. Harvey. Please go back to your seat. Just then, Miss Pink rushed into the room. I'm sorry I'm late, she said. How did all these instruments get here? Didn't you bring them? Asked Mrs. Harvey. No, I did not, said Miss Pink. Snail, Mrs. Harvey said. Who really bought them? Well, I picked up the baton, said Snail, and all the instruments ran. Snail, said Mrs. Harvey. Yes, Mrs. Harvey, said Snail. Never mind, Snail, she said. Never mind. No se te olvide leer la historia número 1, Books for Class, y la historia número 2, The New Student, que encontrarán en la parte de descripción o en la parte de sugerencias. Si te gustó este video, dale me gusta y no te olvides de suscribirte. También entra a www.claudiacosta.com para adquirir práctica de este y de otros temas, productos exclusivos y tener la oportunidad de matricularte a mis clases de inglés.